Yo, what's up? This is Donald Land, game made by Data East back in 1988. First ran this game about 2 years ago, and this PB's from 1 year ago, so probably get this up on YouTube. This is a classic donkey old boy game, ran by Garrison, Claude, Sunker, a lot of other legends. About 19 hours in this game, according to Live Split, and about 262 attempts. The first thing you notice watching this game is that it's the apple jumps, the apple boost is the main move mechanic. You can fire at an apple and jump on it, kind of like in Gimmick where you can jump off the star, and it's pretty awesome. Also breaking the scrolling of the screen by going really fast, but I'll explain that more in the next level. And this is the first level, Hometown World, we're already at the boss. Very challenging boss, throw an apple on his head, but sometimes you miss, and the boss is dead. Wow. You need that stage a bit faster if you can do the scrolling of the screen better, but I kind of messed it up. And now we're into the second world, Lakeside World. So yeah, this is, you see me breaking the scrolling of the screen here. This is what was called Burgerverse. I think that term was coined by Garrison back in the day. Where if you move fast enough, the game reverts to how the game state existed. I think it was 2 screens ago, something like that. I learned a lot about this game from watching the TAS competition that was done for it, like 3-4 years ago or so. Yeah, so I recommend reading TAS notes if you want to learn all about how this game works in technical detail. The idea here is that I'm breaking the scrolling of the screen so I don't have to wait around for the ships, because they like shoot out like a little spout or whatever and you have to jump on it. And then I let the scrolling of the screen cache back up to create the platforms, and now we're already at the boss. This boss, you kind of have to stagger the apples a little bit, I think, in order to take him out, but I think there's also a way to quick kill him that I only learned about recently. And just like that, he's Dunzo. So what else to talk about here? This game has power-ups. You can get 2 apples at once if you pick up the apple power-up, but no more than that. And if you get hit, you lose your apple, which is kind of bad, and that's actually what's going to happen in this stage. This is Forest World. I'm doing a strat that was previously only TAS only, where I'm doing a Burgerverse in this stage, and it's actually quite hard. Probably the hardest thing in the stage is trying to do this optimal. It goes pretty well at first, but then I think I get hit like around here. Yeah, on that guy. But fortunately, I routed it such that I get my double apple back immediately, so I'm able to continue doing the jumps. And yeah, this game is quite hard, actually. Definitely one of the most technical NES games out there. But it's a lot of fun. I'm happy I finally learned this game after memeing it for so long back in the day. Just like that, save birdie. You want to hold left entering this cutscene, saves a few frames. What else to talk about? I accidentally recorded this PB at 30 FPS, so I'm gonna have to redo it at some point. You notice, you like pause it and frame advance the video. It is, in fact, only 30 FPS, so fix that at some point. Alright, this is Sky World. This is the auto-scroller of the run. It still has a bit of a technique to it, though. You want to put the apples down on the enemies and kind of get like a little bit of a boost off of them. And you want to refrain from throwing excessive apples, because each time you throw an apple, I think wastes 1 frame, because you have to let go of the button that moves you forward. And I have like visual cues to take out the enemies and all that. I also have in my notes here that sometimes there's just like random lag in this stage you can't really do anything about. I'm not really sure how the lag luck was in this run, because it was a while ago, but it seems pretty good. Also, what really inspired me to learn this game for real was that there's a wrong warp that can happen from this stage to the next screen of the next stage. But it looks like it was TAS only. Like, I messed around with it briefly, I was like, oh, this is definitely impossible. Very challenging boss here. It's kind of hard to dismount the balloon and land on the boss's hand and take him out, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Praying Donald. Alright, now we're in Oasis World. It's another level where Burgerverse is very powerful. Kind of a pseudo auto-scroller, because you're going to have to wait for the entrance of the next screen to appear. Because if you just go too fast, it'll despawn, you'll have to go back and reload it. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the hamburgers. So you want to go out of your way to avoid the hamburgers at all costs, because if you get even a single hamburger, you're sent into the shop, which wastes like 10 seconds each time. If you don't get rid of your hamburgers when you do that, then it's going to waste 10 more seconds, because you're going to be forced back into the shop. So at all times, you want to have 0 hamburgers. For this guy, you want to throw neutral apples, because it makes it easier for the apples to stick to the boss. I have like visual cues for where to stand on the pillars and all that. And you can kind of get out of control, but that was pretty good, I think. Alright, now we're in the cave, a two-part stage here. You can go a little bit faster than I'm going here, but there's a chance the platforms will despawn. Another mechanic this game has is that if you are going really fast and you have high enough subpixels, it'll despawn like enemies and objects and all that. And in this case, it might despawn the platforms you need to progress. Also, these skull dudes are really random. They're probably the most annoying generic enemy in the game with how they throw their skulls. Now we're in the ice section. This actually does have ice physics, but if you do it optimally, it doesn't really matter too much. Now we must save the Grimace. As soon as the Grimace fully off screen, just throw the apples down, and then you've defeated evil Grimace. Dark Grimace, Shadow Grimace, whatever you want to call him. Also, this is one of the stages where you have to put your Donald in the right spot, because he has to like move to the correct position in order for the cutscene to start. I think it was like that in the last level as well. Alright, now we're in Pawn World, one of the harder platforming stages. This apple jump at the beginning is essential to getting Burgerverse set up. If you don't have Burgerverse, you have to do some tricky jumps over the hamburgers. And also, there's the possibility of croc skips in this level. There, I don't land on that apple, so I actually have a chance at the first one. But again, remember how I talked about how you can despawn stuff if you're going fast enough and you have good subpixels? Well, you can actually despawn waiting for the crocodile there, and it actually saves quite a bit. I think it's like 4 seconds. And yeah, you have these like little frog enemies is what I call them. They're kind of like tricky to jump off of. And you can buffer jumps in this game, which makes it a bit easier. Also right here, that setup is actually to do another croc skip. There's supposed to be one right there, and I got lucky and I got it. It saved like 4 seconds. For this boss, you either want to throw the apples downward if the boss is like down, or you want to like bounce them off the ceiling if he's higher up. That was one of the improvements I found to this run. I actually found quite a lot of stuff in this game compared to when Sunker ran it. Like 50 seconds worth of optimizations. Pretty cool. Started the stage at a buffered apple jump, then I jump on the bird, and I have everything, you know, pre-planned here to not fall into the drink. This game has no checkpoints, so if you die, the run's just dead and you can't come back. You wouldn't have double apple anyways. Alright, here's the main wrong warp of the run. Do a setup here, throw the apple down, then hold left on the apple, and then if Donald's like a little bit above the crates in this praying animation, hey, he doesn't have to be in this animation, but just like somewhere like in that height, you actually skip the first screen of Ocean World, just like that. It's pretty awesome, actually. It's a good thing, too, because the first screen of Ocean World is pretty tough. And yeah, if you don't get that wrong warp, the run's also over. This entire screen, too, is also kind of hard. I did, like, a setup to slow down a little bit so I could take out the seahorse and the pufferfish. Quite a mess. These sharks look like they damage you, but if they don't, you can smash right through them. These little dudes here, you want to get close to them and throw the apple and back off. Only the explosion of their shot actually hurts you. That's a precise technique there to get the down apple, the apple descent or whatever. You gotta press down, right, apple, and jump to get that descent. It's pretty tough, but it does save 1 second. Also set up here to take out the jellyfish. Now we're in the last screen of Ocean World, which is one of the tougher platforming stages too. I do a lot of buffer jumps here to make sure I don't slip off. This game's a lot more slippery than it looks. And whether or not you can ride the skull here is just random, and I got it in this run, so I decided to do it. And this boss, you just want to get right up in his face and mash the apples. His attack patterns are random, so you just kind of hope you don't die to him. There is a safer strat where you like stand back and throw the apples, but it's too slow. And because I got hit here, that means I lost double apple, but I've routed the next stage such that I don't need it, and I get it back by the end of the stage. So now we're in a Ghost Town world. This is a tough stage to route because you just might despawn a lot of the enemies, again, due to moving too fast and having high enough subpixels. So the routing in the stage can probably be improved a little bit. Burgerverse is very easy to keep in this one. You can't really do too much flying with double apple because the witches guard the top of the screen. Here I have a set to take out both these ghosts at once. These ghosts are actually pretty bad because if you don't take them out in their first cycle, they can move to random positions, and you'll lose a lot of time trying to take them out. I actually made a tutorial for this game that I'm probably going to link in the description of this video. If you ever actually want to learn this game, I made it back when I actually knew more about it compared to, you know, when I'm commentating right now, so definitely check that out if you want to learn the run. Now we're in Dark Forest World. Here you kind of want to stay up top and not really interact with the ground too much. I was pretty proud of the route I came up with, like, you know, movement-wise, back when I ran this game. Like that apple jump off that dude, I remember being pretty pivotal. And this boss ends up not going super well, I think. This is another boss you can't just mash the apples, you kind of have to stagger them a little bit. And I missed a few shots here. Here I'm placing my Dom in a, not really a precise position, but a somewhat precise position to get the wrong warp the next screen. You can actually place them on the far right too if you have more bricks available. And you'll also get the wrong warp. Swag apples there. The way the wrong warps work is that you have to stand on a specific tile, and then it thinks you're standing on a door. It leads to the next screen, I think. Here you can't go too fast, you have to despawn this. Here there's more ghosts, they work the same as the ones at the end of a Ghost Town world. I missed a shot there, but that's a good recovery. Down apple, now we're into this Botwoon boss, I think. There's another one where I have a precise setup to take out the boss, goes pretty well. Now we're coming up to the second to last boss, the Hamburglar. Probably the most random boss in the run. This game doesn't have too much RNG, it's mostly the generic enemies and some of the bosses, but sometimes the Hamburglar can throw his hat like that and then he can't be damaged, and like the apple moves, it's a huge mess. But that's a pretty good recovery. And now it's the final boss, Gooman, original character outside the Donald universe. I do have a pretty safe setup here to take him out. That doesn't involve double apple in case I get hit. And just like that, I've done it. I've saved it. Donald Land in a mere 11 minutes and 53 seconds, I think. Wow, what a run. Timing, of course, stops you and on the hero podium. Classic timing. That was it. That was Donald Land. There's actually 4 different possible backdrops you can get here. I managed to get the forest backdrop here, and it's still not known what actually causes that. You get like a night ending, you get the hometown ending, and another one, forget. Sunset ending? Yeah. But yeah, well, let's talk about, this is a pretty fun run. I'd like to see this game in a big 20 someday. I'd like to see more people learn and pick up the game. Fellow Goemon runner Czar has actually been running this game recently. Make sure to check him out if you want to watch some live runs. I would definitely like to come... Oh, I love you. Love we say Birdie. She loves us. I would love to return to this game and actually get a 60 FPS PB. Also, this was back before I upgraded my NES capture, which is why it looks kind of bad. So, definitely want to improve this at some point. But it's a pretty tough run. It's very easy just to lose it all to picking up a hamburger, falling in a pit, and stuff like that. And yeah, very technical movement on this one. But yeah, again, shouts to the Donkey Old Boys that kind of inspired me to run this. You know, it took me a long time to actually do it. Shouts to the various tasks of the game that were made for the tasking competition, in which I took a lot of strats. I actually made a theory task for this game when I first started running it. Then you made a theory task, and this run was actually faster than the theory task I made, because I was like barely sub 12. So I definitely got a lot better running this game. I ran it for like a month or so. Like 3 weeks to a month. Like I said, it was about 19 hours total playtime. And this game is very front-loaded in terms of difficulty. And Pond World can be kind of tough, Ocean World can be kind of tough, but at least the ending's a little bit easy unless you mess up the bosses. Yeah, this game's awesome. I love Donald Land. What else to talk about that I forgot to mention here in the credits? I think I covered everything. Typically, you know, just trying to talk as fast as possible. Thank you, XX. Still don't know what the X's mean. I did run this on real console, of course. I did buy a real copy of Donald Land and an AV Famicom to run it. How much I love Donald. Yeah, game's great. I will probably go for 11.3x at some point, maybe. Any more than that seems kind of insane. I didn't really make too many mistakes in this run, other than getting hit in Forest World and some slow boss fights. But there's definitely ways to go faster in this game. More instances of Burgerverse. I think you can do Burgerverse in Pawn World. Could be a good optimization. Faster way of doing Lakeside Burgerverse as well. Yeah, if you watch the tasks of this game, you realize you can always go faster. So here's all the friends we saved here in McDonald Land. I think we all remember Uncle when he was saved. And Big Mac Police. Remember, all cops are burgers. Yeah, thanks for watching. Definitely want to get more old PBs up on YouTube. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Donald Lands. Alright, bye.